Madam Chairperson, Leader of the Opposition and President of the People's National Party and the next Prime Minister of Jamaica, Mr. Mark Jefferson Golding. My colleague, panelists, and members of the Shadow Spokesperson team, the General Secretary, the man marshalling the People's National Party to victory. Candidates and standard bearers for the People's National Party in the parishes of St. Anne and Trelawney. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, a pleasant good evening to you all. I am very happy to be here to participate in the first of a series dubbed the People's Forum. And it is very important for us to note and understand that we are starting off this series in three fundamental areas of life that touches on every single Jamaican citizens. And education, healthcare, and housing are all fundamental human rights. And it shows our value to these three areas. And so I am very joyful and happy to speak on the portfolio of housing and sustainable living, because I will tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, that 2 years ago, when I was called by my leader, and he said to me that I'm going to assign you the portfolio of housing and sustainable living, I deemed it a joy because it was a shift from the traditional areas that have been assigned to me as a person with a disability. And what my leader was saying to me is that, look, I see your talent as much bigger than just dealing with disability issues. I want you to manage the housing portfolio. And as I contemplated the task that he gave me, I have to make reference to the fact that I originate from a community called Bailey's Vale in St. Mary, a rural community where my mother grew me up in a 4-bedroom house with 8 children. And then those children start to expand the family and we moved to 15. And because of the caring nature of my family, my mother, she took in community members so that they could have food to eat and a roof over their head, and it expanded to over 20. So I understand the importance of shelter to the people of Jamaica. And so when I stand up here to speak to you, I am one of you. And I couldn't be a party to a grouping that is going to come and sell the Jamaican people hollow. A real stuff we are going to deal with now. The truth is that from as far back as the 1950s, the People's National Party has established in its DNA housing. Norman Manley built Hope Pastures, Mona, and Arborview. And in the 1970s, having traveled Jamaica and seen our people living in bamboo houses, wattle and daub, and thatch houses. Michael Manley said that cannot continue, and he established the National Housing Trust, which to date have seen over 200,000 houses built in this country, changing the face of houses in Jamaica. And then in the 1990s, P.J. Patterson came with Operation Pride to provide land and housing for our people, and that is how people in Mount Edge come right in this constituency, get them houses. People in Bel Air in this constituency get their houses. And then in the mid-2000s, Portia Simpson Miller decided that her brothers and sisters must not continue to live in barracks houses. And so she tore down every one of them and built concrete houses for sugar workers across Jamaica. So it is in the DNA of the People's National Party to build quality and affordable houses. And so when my leader said to me, your mandate is to come up with a strategy to provide affordable houses to the people of Jamaica, I entered upon the reference and put together a task force that has worked with me to build out a number of strategies to ensure that we provide affordable houses to Jamaicans. To date, based on data, it is showing that there is a need for over 190,000 houses in Jamaica. And in order for us to keep up with the demand for houses, we have to be building 15,000 on an annual basis. The government of the day for the past 9 years have been building on average 2,300 houses per year. Last year, the NHT committed to build 15,009 houses to deliver to the market. They only delivered 2,754. If that is not a colossal failure, I don't know what else is. And so we have designed a number of strategies to tackle the housing crisis. And we were able to present to our leader so that he could go to Parliament and present in the budget presentation a clear vision as to how a People's National Party-led administration by Mark Jefferson Golding is going to start the housing revolution in Jamaica. And we have signaled the first thing we're going to be doing is to stop the annual extraction of $11.4 billion from the NHT to fund the national budget. What has happened over the past 13 years is that close to $150 billion of contributors' money have been used to fund the national budget. And we understand the circumstances. But my leader said, time come. And based on that, and the fact that so much money has been spent to top up the national budget, your caring leader has said to the nation that we must give back to the contributors of the NHT because $150 billion of their money have been extracted from the trust. And so what we are going to be doing is that we are going to be building 50,000 low-income houses because the market has not been catering to these individuals who have contributed to the NHT over the years. And the leader has said, because of your money being used to top up the budget, we're not going to make you pay for the land portion of the housing cost when we build those houses. What that means is between $2.5 to $3 million savings for those individuals who will be purchasing their houses. And we're not gonna take back the land from the people. We're not gonna take back the land for the people. What that is going to do is immediately build up equity in the property that the individuals will get. That is what Mark Jefferson Golding is contemplating for the people of Jamaica. And he has not just stopped there. He has said to the country that young people must get the opportunity to own their own house. And I'm not going to give no idle promise to the young people, like some people who promised to give 10,000 houses to young people and delivered not one. He has said that out of the $11.4 billion, we are going to set up a special fund with $1 billion annually and $500,000 each young person will get to pay the deposit on their houses across this country. As a grant. As a grant, you're not going to pay it back. But the leader and the team never stop there. We look around and we see the barbers. We see the farmers. We see the taxi men. We see the dressmakers and the bar owners. And we say, these people need to own a house too. But they can't own it because they're not getting a monthly pay slip. So what our leader said, rent to buy. We are going to allow a portion of these houses that we are going to build to go to rent to buy scheme, so that the barber man, the taxi man, the dressmaker, the farmer can rent a unit. And when we see how they are paying for the houses, paying the rent, then we'll convert that rent into a mortgage so that these individuals can own their own house, because the PNP believe that people must have them owner keys for them houses. We believe that it is better for you to own your owner key than to rent somebody's house, because when you pay a mortgage, you own your own key. When you pay rent, you borrow somebody's key. And then, the General Secretary is here, and him know that me love to see a lot of things. And the leader has sent me across this country to visit those areas where you have had Operation Pride developments, to evaluate the situation where we are and where we need to go. And based on my visits right across this country, come back and make some recommendation to him. And coming out of that, we are going to establish the program for the orderly renewal and transformation of infrastructure in all areas, the Portia initiative that is going to see the tearing down of zinc fences, the building of sidewalks, and the handing over of titles to those communities and to those citizens who need to own the land that they are living on. I say to those individuals who are living in the 47 incomplete Operation Pride developments, if a Mark Jefferson Golding-led PNP don't deal with those developments, nobody else will. Nobody else will. And so we are committed to ensuring that we complete those developments and restore dignity to the lives of people across this country. Let me tell you something. We're not even worrying about anything, because I have said to the leader, the 50,000 houses that we build, it's not we're giving them away. They are going to be sold to people across the country, and we expect to make a profit. And what we are going to do with the profit, some of the profit, is to fund that Portia initiative, because we believe that we must transform Jamaica and empower the people in their communities across this country. So if them want to know how we go and fund them programs here, them can hook up that. And I say that since the leader have made these announcements, I have been inundated with calls from individuals across Jamaica, including representatives in different constituencies. The candidate for the PNP in Southwest St. Anna's called me, and she said that she wants to get the first housing development in Southwest St. Anne. And I said to her, don't you worry, Danishka, because help is on the way. We are going to be providing you with some of those low-income houses. And the member of parliament from South East St. Anne get jealous, and him have a councillor for the Beachertown development, Beachertown division, the Beachertown division, who join in with him. And I say, don't you worry, Dr. Russell, help is on the way, because we are going to be providing you with some of the 50,000 houses in your constituency. Portia will be implemented the Parrytown area to complete that Operation Pride development. And if that wasn't enough, the member of parliament next for Northeast St. Anne, Dr. Simpson, call me and him say, listen me here say everybody I get something. What happened to Northeast St. Anne? I said to him, don't you worry, because the people in Miami Bay will be taken care of, and the people out there in Pimento Walk will be taken care of as well. And then the member of parliament in waiting for Northwest St. Anne, she called me and she said, remember, that is Morris, my name. Remember that I am your political daughter. what is in it for me? And I say to her, don't you worry, because we have identified the largest block of land on the North Coast, and you're gonna be getting a brand new community in Mount Edgecombe 5, and we're gonna be building a significant block of houses there that will ensure that hotel workers and the people of Northwest Centre can get quality housing. So I say to you, Mark Jefferson Golding has given me a mandate, and I am going to deliver on that mandate, because it's the People's National Party that has said housing all the time, and we are going to continue on that trajectory to make sure that our people in Jamaica get access to quality and affordable housing. God bless you.